Hi, John from Costa Mesa R&D again. Have an interesting little project here on the resurfacer right now. We've got a block from an Acura B18A, and I want to show you what happens if you don't resurface the block when you have these things apart. They get overheated and they do warp. A lot of people just put them right back together and that's it, but they really should be resurfaced. Let me show you what's going on here. If you take a look here, you can see where I've taken a slight cut off of this, and it's kind of cleaned up on this one side. But if you look over here on the other side, you can see how it's still kind of dark, especially around the cylinders, where it didn't clean up at all. It should be nice and flush all the way around. So we're going to go ahead and resurface this thing, and we'll come back once we're all done. Well, I've taken a total of about 3 thousandths off the top of this block, and as you can see, it still needs to be machined down a little bit more. I get questions once in a while, well, how do you know when too much is too much? There's a couple of spots on here. There's one on this end, and there's two down on this end here. We got one here, and one over here. Those little dots that you see on the inside of that circle, that's the limit line as to how much you can actually take off the block. We're going to go ahead and take a little bit more off this, another couple thousandths, and see if it'll clean up. I've speeded up the machine so we can get a little bit better surface finish, because that's an all-important thing on this type of block where you have an aluminum head going on top of an aluminum block. The gaskets that we use need to kind of slip and slide as the block and head heat up. I've placed a surface tester on top of the block, and we're actually going to measure the surface finish that we achieved with our job here. So we're going to power this thing up. I'm going to hit the start button. What this does is to move 5 increments of 30 thousandths each, and it measures the peaks and valleys of the surface. I measure that normally in something called an RA, or an arithmetic average. As you can see, we've got about a 20.7, which is within our factory specifications from Honda and Acura. Well, we're going to have a look at our block here to see that everything did get cleaned up, and as you can see, there's no more dark areas, and you can also see that we've not taken this down to a minimum. I think I took a total of about 6 thousandths off this block to get it to clean up, so it was pretty warped. Anyway, this is John Edwards signing off from Costa Mesa R&D Automotive Machine. Have a great day.